Welcome to Storytime, where tonight's tale takes you on a mystical journey. Get comfortable, close your eyes, and let the quiet rhythm of the night draw you in. Underneath a sky ablaze with stars, the desert lay silent and serene. The air was still, carrying only the faint whispers of sand as it shifted across the dunes. It was the kind of night where time seemed to stretch, where the vastness of the desert mirrored the endless sky above. And in the midst of it all, a lone traveler journeyed toward an ancient city long forgotten by the world. Her name was Lila, and she had come to Egypt in search of something elusive, something that had called to her from the pages of old books and from the dreams that filled her nights. She was an archaeologist, fascinated by the mysteries of ancient civilizations, but her quest this time was not driven by science or discovery. It was personal. For as long as she could remember, Lila had felt a connection to Egypt, as though her soul had lived another life in the land of the pharaohs. And now, after years of planning, she had followed the call of her dreams to this very place, a forgotten temple buried beneath the sands. The camel she rode plodded slowly through the night, its hooves making soft impressions in the sand. The stars above shone like diamonds, casting a gentle light that bathed the landscape in a mystical glow. As Lila looked ahead, the silhouette of the ancient temple rose on the horizon, half covered in sand, but still standing strong after thousands of years. Its stone walls, weathered and worn, were carved with symbols and hieroglyphs, each telling stories of gods and kings, of wisdom and power. As she approached the entrance, a sense of reverence washed over her. There was something sacred about this place, something that demanded quiet and respect. Lila dismounted and made her way toward the massive stone doors, her heart beating softly in her chest. She had prepared for this moment her entire life, studying every map, every scroll that mentioned the temple. And yet, standing here now, she realized that no amount of preparation could have readied her for the weight of the history and magic that surrounded her. With a deep breath, she stepped forward, pushing open the heavy stone doors. The air inside was cool, untouched by the heat of the day, and it smelled faintly of earth and time. Her torch flickered to life, casting a warm, golden glow that danced across the walls. Ancient murals, faded but still beautiful, adorned the temple's interior, depicting scenes of worship, celestial events, and the lives of the gods. Lila moved carefully, her eyes wide with wonder as she took in every detail. Her journey had brought her here not only to uncover the temple, but to find something hidden deep within its chambers, a relic said to hold the wisdom of the ancients. The stories spoke of a golden ankh, a symbol of eternal life, which, if found, could unlock the secrets of existence itself. As she ventured deeper into the temple, the air seemed to hum with a quiet energy. The passageways were narrow, the walls close around her, but Lila felt a sense of calm wash over her. The outside world, with all its noise and distractions, seemed distant and unimportant here. In this place, time slowed, and the only sound was the soft echo of her footsteps on the stone floor. After what felt like hours, Lila finally reached the heart of the temple, a large chamber illuminated by a shaft of moonlight that poured in through a small opening in the ceiling. In the center of the room, on a raised platform, stood an intricately carved stone pedestal. And atop it, just as the legends had foretold, was the golden ankh. The relic was beautiful, shimmering in the moonlight like a beacon from the past. Lila's breath caught in her throat as she stepped closer, her heart swelling with the weight of the moment. She had found it. After years of searching, after countless dreams and sleepless nights, she had finally found the object of her quest. But as she reached out to touch the ankh, something unexpected happened. The room seemed to shift around her, the walls dissolving into darkness. The air grew warmer, and a soft breeze stirred, carrying with it the scent of lotus flowers and the sound of distant water. Lila blinked, her hand hovering just above the ankh as the world around her transformed. She was no longer in the temple. Instead, she found herself standing on the banks of a wide river, its waters calm and shimmering under the light of the moon. Tall papyrus plants swayed gently in the breeze, and the distant calls of birds echoed in the night air. Lila looked around, her heart racing with awe and confusion. Where was she? How had she come to be here? A figure appeared on the far bank of the river, a tall, regal woman dressed in flowing white robes, her skin glowing with an ethereal light. She moved gracefully, her footsteps barely disturbing the ground beneath her, and as she approached, Lila felt a strange sense of recognition wash over her. "Welcome," the woman said, her voice soft and melodic, like the rustle of leaves in the wind. "You have journeyed far, Lila. Your heart has led you to this place, beyond the veil of time." Lila stared, her mind racing with questions, but she could not find her voice. The woman smiled gently, her eyes filled with understanding. "You seek the wisdom of the ancients," she continued. "But what you must understand, dear one, is that the wisdom you seek is already within you. The Ankh is a symbol, a key to unlock what you already know in your soul. The journey you have taken has been not to find it, but to remember." As the woman's words washed over her, Lila felt a profound sense of peace settle in her heart. The weight of her quest, the years of searching and longing, all seemed to dissolve in that moment. She had been looking outside herself for answers, but now she understood the answers had been with her all along. The woman extended her hand, and Lila hesitated for only a moment before taking it. The touch was warm, comforting, like the embrace of an old friend. Together, they stood by the river, the moonlight casting a gentle glow over the landscape, and Lila felt as though she had come home. "You are ready," the woman said softly, her voice fading into the night. "The world awaits your wisdom. Go, and share it with those who seek it, just as you have." And with that, the woman stepped back, her form dissolving into the night like a wisp of smoke. Lila blinked, and suddenly, she was back in the temple, standing before the golden Ankh. The room was still, the air heavy with the quiet power of the moment, but Lila no longer felt the need to reach for the relic. She had found what she was looking for, not in the object, but in the journey itself. With a calm heart and a clear mind, Lila turned and made her way back through the temple. The desert night greeted her once more, the stars shining brightly overhead. As she mounted her camel and began the journey back to the city, she felt a sense of serenity she had never known before. The weight of her quest had lifted, replaced by a quiet certainty that whatever lay ahead, she was ready for it. And so, under the watchful eyes of the ancient stars, Lila rode back toward the world, carrying with her the wisdom of the ages, the peace of knowing that the greatest quest of all is the one that leads within. Thank you for joining us on this journey tonight at Story. May this story makes you drift into a restful sleep. Until next time, good night and sweet dreams.
Thanks for your time. Please subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon for more.